Okay, Megan, it is Wednesday, June 30th. And we started today. The topic was about the Olympic athletes who weren't allowed to bring their children of breastfeeding age to the Olympics. And that ruling just got overturned. And, what are we doing? It's 2021. Why was that even a thing? Um, and uh, you start your argument by saying that the patriarchy rules everything, and then qualify that statement by saying it's not true of everything, but it is true in this instance. So it's you, it, or it's an overused line, but it's true in this instance. So you immediately just discounted the thing that you said. The patriarchy is the problem. You were right to begin with. I don't know why you then qualified it. But uh, anyway, so you backpedaled on your own statement immediately. But then your whole argument again becomes very personal because this is an experience that you had, and you say that breast pumping at work was the hardest thing you've ever had to do, even harder than burying loved ones. Now, I myself have never had to breast pump. I've had friends who have done it. I, I know it's not the most comfortable thing to do, but I've never known anyone to say it was the hardest thing they've ever had to do in their lives. Um, you know, I am open to, believe people with their experiences. So if anybody has any experiences that they would like to share in the comments about how impossible breast pumping is, I'm happy to be educated. But you say that was the hardest thing you've ever had to do, and then you say you can't even get on an elliptical machine, which is basically just walking in stride in place. So your you know uh is it a toughness? I don't know how to phrase it, but um I'm not sure you're the best gauge of what is the hardest thing in life, if you can't get on an elliptical at all. um and uh so you also said, you thought that by 2021 we'd have jetpacks, but you thought by 2021 we would have a way for women to um, easily breast pump. You never thought that. That was not a thing that you thought. You didn't think about breast pumping before you had a baby and had to do it. Um, and complaining about the timing of the show and prepping for the like. So what would you think would be better? Do you want to bring the baby and be able to breastfeed the baby at work? Um, which it seems like, you know, ABC, Disney, it's a big company. I feel like there could be some accommodation. You are, after all, Meghan McCain, co-host of The View. So I think you probably could have eased your situation. It doesn't change the fact that we need to overhaul our entire system to make it easier for parents of newborns, both men and women. Um, but the biggest problem with that, as Joy pointed out, kind of specifically, but alluded to, the Republicans won't vote for the things that actually make it easier for new parents. So it makes it a little difficult to, to achieve that level of comfort for new parents and newborns when one part of the government refuses to help people. Later in the show, you talked to Pete Buttigieg about bipartisanship, and you're disappointed. And is he disappointed in the bipartisanship of the Biden administration? And that the only example is your mother being appointed to something in the UN, which is bullshit. There's been lots of bipartisan votes that have happened, but he astutely pointed out that we have this huge, over $1 trillion deal that is coming to a vote that we expect to be able to pass, which is a monumental event, vastly different than your mom getting appointed to anything. But you want to put all of the pressure of bipartisanship on President Biden, but you don't ever put any blame or accountability on Mitch McConnell or the Republicans when when the minority leader says our number one goal is to prevent this administration from passing any legislation, which is what he said not only about the Obama administration, but now currently about the Biden administration. Isn't that where the problem of bipartisanship stands? Where one side simply says we're not going to play. So doesn't bipartisanship have a responsibility on both sides? And when one side says we're not going to play, that's the side you really need to be focusing on getting, on board with bipartisanship. So I'm tired of that argument from you. And what was the other hot topic? I seem to have forgotten the one in the middle. Was it about? It seemed. Oh, it was about the stupid first lady thing in Vogue. That's a non-story. I don't even know why you guys even covered it. Who the fuck cares? You actually made a good point. Vogue is part of the problem in terms of female identity and pressure put on women and their appearances. And Anna Wintour was supposed to have retired several years ago, and then magically didn't. Somehow did not get pushed out. But who cares? And it's a fucking fashion magazine. And you want it to stick in its lane and only be a fashion magazine, but they're never just fashion magazines. If you'd actually watch The Devil Wears Prada, listen to that speech about the blue sweater, because it says a lot, not just about how Annie ended up with that blue sweater, but it says a lot about how a lot of things happen in this country and across capitalism and politics. Really, it's never about the thing that's at the end. It's always about how it started, which goes back to your argument about the patriarchy that you then backpedaled on. So there's that. And the last segment, I can't even begin to imagine. It seems very clear that Marilyn Manson belongs in jail. So I hope he's prosecuted.